And then we touched on this a little bit last week of does there need to be some more oversight on these sort of groups? I know we have freedom of religion, but at what point is it not religion? And it's just it's abuse, it's mind control. It's I mean, what is that fine line there, and how do we define it?
Yeah, it's a really hard question. There was a case in Los Angeles just a couple weeks ago, or no, San Jose area, California, where this religious group, people, I believe, from South America, who had these bizarre Pentecostal beliefs about casting out demons, and they killed a 3-year-old child in an exorcism. And it was the child and grandchild of the people involved in the exorcism. And these horrendous things that happen, and they don't all get national news,
Hmm.
but this kind of bizarre stuff is really dangerous. And whether it's people withholding medical care because of faith healing, and so they have somebody die because they didn't get their insulin, a lot of those cases happen too. And it seems like we don't really have a way to do much intervening because of our freedom of religion and respect for everybody's beliefs until something awful has happened.
Well, even awful things happen, and then we go, "Well, they're nuts," but it's like this is happening all over. I mean, this is start if you start digging into these beliefs, especially when you get into some rural areas of the country, all over. It doesn't matter what part of the country. Get into rural areas, you're going to have some more kind of one-off beliefs or ten-off beliefs because
Yeah.
there's not a lot of anybody saying, "Hmm." This isn't the best of ideas, but why is that? I mean, how do people fall into stuff like this? And I mean, I get one thing if you are brought up into it and you have no choice, it's basically you're brainwashing your kids. That I can understand. But an individual just from the outside coming in going, this seems like a great group. I mean, there were several with the Daybells that were like, oh yeah, we're hearing this stuff too. We're feeling the demons and all that. And then they subscribed to the insane stuff that Chad was writing about. How I mean, it seems like impossible to bring people into that, but I guess not. It's probably quite easy if you have the right type of mind that you're talking to.
Yeah, it seems to me like people who have this predisposition to magical thinking and a lot of paranoia, so they tend to always be looking outward at some kind of force that's out to get me or causing harm in my life. And so when something doesn't go well for me, it's not because it was just the car broke down today and I had bad luck. It's like, no, Satan was doing this and Satan was out to get me. And so it's a very childish kind of way of looking at the world. But there are a lot of very childish people who think like this. And when you put, the devil involved in it, I mean, that's one of the things that you see over and over and over with these groups that get so dangerous is there's always this paranoid factor involving the devil or evil spirits. And it's just something that it seems to be kind of this cognitive um, lapse that some people are prone to. They're just not very good at thinking.
Is it a coping mechanism for some people where their brains just can't contemplate that maybe the world is just kind of a shitty place sometimes and there's bad people out there and just bad things happen sometimes, like your car breaking down in an inconvenient spot or
Yeah,
time. Like that just can happen. It's not the devil. And there's just bad people out there. They're not possessed. They're just maybe bad people.
right.
Why is that such a hard thing to comprehend for some? And it's easier to comprehend it's the devil. It's evil spirits. I mean, that seems a little more difficult to grasp than just the reality of the situation.
Yeah, for a normal thinking adult, somebody who can think with their logical mind, clearly this paranoid sense of there's always this force out to get me, or anytime something bad happens, it's the devil or Satan doing this to me or evil spirits. That's not the way normal adults think.
Hmm.
But I think that's one of the things that's most horrifying about these cases is how many people do not think logically and don't seem to be very well grounded in reality, that there can be this many of them out there seemingly functioning in society but having these really bizarre beliefs.
And how does one help anybody pull back from that? I mean, if you're like a family member of, and you have like a sibling or something that's really subscribed to this sort of stuff, and you know, like, this isn't healthy, this is almost getting dangerous. I mean, they're not easy to convince otherwise, especially when it comes and you add religion to the belief. I mean, is there ever a way to help, I guess, enlighten somebody like this is not all of that?
No, at times, I think if you can get people out of the group and maybe do more questioning and just trying to plug in their thinking brain more, you might be able to have some influence and get them to see that, okay, maybe there is another point of view here. But it's truly difficult for some of them to ever shift them out of that,
Mhm.
and they tend to be drawn to other like-minded people. So, they congregate, they find each other at
Yeah.
these religious meetings, and it's really hard to shift.
Yeah.
I can't say we have a lot of success with it.
Especially when you have it being reinforced over and over by then your like-minded people, then, well, then I'm not wrong because all these other people think this is right. And I mean, it's a weird way of surviving and living in a world where you're not necessarily being truly threatened by these things that they feel threatened by.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I looked up, the other day, what was it? 70% of people believe that there's a literal Satan
Mhm.
walking on the earth,
Yeah.
that when you have this many people who are prone to believing things like that, it's kind of hard to go, how do we help people shift into something that's maybe a more reasonable way to look at the world?
Yeah. Eventually there'll be more of these people. It feels like they're coming out of the
Mhm.
woodwork and
Mhm.
we're seeing more and more. It's a
Mhm.
scary thought. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Brueski, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.